This conference will now be recorded.
I'd like to call the August 11th Belchertown Conservation Commission meeting to order. We have a quorum. We have the same quorum we had last time?
Yes.
Okay, great, because we've got a bunch of old stuff to continue to work. First on the agenda is 34 Doe Hollow for Eric and Amanda Johnson.
Hello everyone, Ryan Nelson from Arliss.
Right up here. You can come in between the horseshoe.
Alright, so we'll just give a quick recap. The Johnsons are looking to construct an addition to the apartment, essentially, for Bob and Lee, on the north side of the existing house. There's currently a garage on this north face of the house, the driveway access here. There's going to be a new garage constructed, this box right here, street-facing garage doors, and a dwelling addition in the rear here. We realize, obviously, we're in the buffer zone, in the 50-foot buffer zone. 50 foot is right here, 25-foot buffer zone is right here, and these are the wetlands. I know there's concern at the last meeting in regards to work in the 50-foot buffer zone. Maybe it wasn't conveyed to the commission. My apologies, I just had a conflict at the last meeting, wasn't able to attend. Maybe it wasn't conveyed, but we have thought of and conducted an alternatives analysis for work in the 50-foot buffer zone. We believe that there's a variety of reasons. The location we're showing, the addition is most conducive and it's the most economically feasible for the project. The main alternative for the project that we evaluated was placing the addition on the other side of the house, which I believe was also brought up. Sarah, she had mentioned or provided, I believe town zoning bylaw only allows for one driveway on the property to an accessory dwelling unit, so they would not be able to construct an additional second driveway from Doe Hollow Road if the addition was down here. That's also within the buffer zone. And looking at the impervious area calculations, and currently the addition would occupy most of the driveway turnaround next to the house. So in total, you have an increase of 1,344 square feet of impervious within the buffer zone over here. It includes the driveway, the deck, the side and the rear of the walkways, all impervious.
Can you repeat that figure for me?
Yep, 1,344 approximately.
Thank you.
Under the alternate layout with the addition down below with a theoretical driveway accessing it, it more than doubles. The increase in impervious surface would be about 3,320 square feet.
How much of that would be inside of the 50?
Probably none. So that's coverage. And then has everyone gotten a chance to read the email that we provided maybe a week and a half ago about the alternatives?
Oh, I did not. I apologize.
Okay.
I missed it as well.
I saw it, but I didn't.
Okay. So
Briefly go through it.
sure. So I'll just read it so we know everyone has a clear understanding of what regulations are in play. So under section 1081 of your Belchertown wetland regulation, there's a minimum of a continuous 25-foot vegetated buffer strip between developed activities in the buffer zone and the resource area to be protected shall be presumed. It is rebuttable and may be overcome by a clear showing that said land will not play a role in the protection of said interest. Conservation Commission requires all applicants to submit an alternatives analysis demonstrating need and justification for any work proposed within the 25 to 50-foot no disturb area. The applicant shall prove by a preponderance of evidence that there are no practicable and substantially equivalent economic alternatives to the proposed project with less adverse effects on any wetland resource areas. A practical alternative means a measure that is available and capable of being done after taking into consideration cost, existing technology, and logistics in light of overall project purpose. A larger buffer may be required. So we are not denying that the alternative would result in no 50-foot buffer zone disturbance. However, that happened, not only is it owning that feasible with a separate driveway, but the cost of doing the project on that size is a considerable increase that would render the project infeasible for the applicants. So cost is the main consideration for the alternatives analysis. It is a substantially equivalent economic alternative. And our answer is that alternative is not economically equivalent. Architectural and frame construction costs on this house, have to reroute the underground electric and communication entry into the house. The sewer line could easily be tied into by gravity, where we're currently showing the addition. On the flip side, we do a sewer ejector pump, variety of other odds and ends, but we anticipate the building increase cost to be about $80,000, and the additional site work and utilities, not including the driveway, would be about another $20,000. So in total, an estimated potentially $100,000 more to construct the addition on the south side of the house. If that was the case, then the applicants wouldn't be pursuing that project. So happy to answer any questions you guys might have.
Yeah, I mean, the two driveways versus one driveway, I mean, if you're gonna reverse the whole thing and put the garage over here, obviously you'd have a driveway there and you could eliminate that driveway. But, I mean, since you're reworking this whole section, there's only that much that would be, you'd have to rip out and replace. This would actually be a shorter driveway. But, have you looked into two things? One thing is to put this addition on top of the garage. Can you do that? You make that a second story?
Currently the house does have a second story, and half of my son's bedroom, or my son's bedroom is over half of that garage already. So there wouldn't be enough space for the addition just over the garage.
Understand what you're saying.
So the garage, you're talking about the garage that currently exists? Can we just put it over that?
No, I'm talking about you're building a garage and then you're building the addition on the back. If you put the addition on top of the garage.
Oh, okay. And another part of that concern is the purpose of this addition is to house my parents as they grow older. And I'm concerned about mobility issues later on in life, having it over the garage. I wanted them on my property as they grow older so I can be there to more easily take care of them. And so that's kind of a concern in regards to that.
What if they live in the main house and you live in the...
I believe my wife would divorce me.
The other thing is, could you slide this whole addition, the garage, the front of the garage forward and that would slide everything forward a little bit?
Potentially, there is a building setback line right here. We could, it obviously, I think it could be done, but aesthetically and in terms of utilities and framing, it'd be at a skewed angle. I'm sure it could be done.
Well, I'm not
And also when
twisting it. I'm just talking about just taking the whole thing and sliding it so the front of this was a little bit farther forward. That way the back corner would move farther.
I can address that. I spoke with the septic designer that signed the new system, because we'll also be putting in a new septic system as part of this due to the code requirements. We can pivot the leaching field a little bit, not more than about 5 feet or so, and And based on the existing slope and how it drains now, if we moved it too far forward, we'd be almost creating, the foundation would be creating kind of a dam. We'd have to slope the whole front yard. So, and then there's a possibility that part of the driveway would have to go over the end of the leaching field, so that would have to be redesigned. And
Where is the leach field, in that big
Yeah,
square,
so the
rectangular?
new design would be, this is the leach field right here.
And it would still meet the Title V of being, what, 20 feet off?
We have to be 20 feet from a house under new construction. So since this is an increase in design flows for the septic, we have to meet new construction standards.
Right, so it'd
No
be
variance is allowed. So we have to
20
be
feet?
20 feet from the foundation and 10 feet from the property.
Could you show again where the current septic line is?
Right
Leach
here.
field?
Yep, so there's the proposed tank, and this is where the invert leaving the house is.
And you're going to, it currently goes to the leach pit?
Yes,
It's got a leach pit, not
Yeah, it currently goes to
not
the
a
tank,
field.
right?
yeah,
it goes to tank and then a leach pit. Yes.
Could you eliminate any of the grading on the west side of the addition there? Could you just have a foundation face and at least eliminate the grading that's in there?
Yeah, that's pretty
Here's the
much
grading.
what we have. We have a walkout basement. We only have a proposed 1 or 2 foot contour change at the basement walkout within 5 feet of the foundation. So
Well, it's your first floor, top of wall is 542.
yep,
Basement floor is 534.
yep, it's about 8 feet down.
So, and what's that contour going across? That 530, that's 534 right there. So, I mean, I'm just trying to minimize anything inside of the chip.
Yeah, we've tried to. They, gave us what they need for their interior layout, and we've tried to make the site grading as minimal as possible.
I mean, I don't, switching to the other side, when you say that, why would the communication and underground electric be done over?
Right, but the box is on the side face of the house, so that would have to be moved to the new face of the addition, exterior face.
Big deal?
Is that,
Is that a big deal?
I don't know, I'm not an electrician, but.
Yeah, I'm not even-
I mean, to my knowledge, those boxes need to be on the front side corner of the house. So then that would move the front side corner to the far end of the addition, which then would require a rewiring.
Oh, really?
plus if I might add, on that end of the house, in addition to the utilities, there's all the venting for the hot water heater and the furnace. There's the vent for the fireplace, and that's the side of the house that the well piping comes into. All of that would all be involved in any changing. And I honestly don't know what we would do with the direct vent fireplace. I don't know if that can be vented vertically. I think it's made and has to go straight out. So
And the,
so we've done a lot of what ifs on trying to figure out where else we could go. We knew infringing on the setback might be an issue, but with all things that we've considered, and one of the primary things again is access to the existing sewer line, which is in that back corner of the existing house, and we can tie right into it, and it can gravity feed. We won't need any additional ejectors.
is that a gravity system?
Yes.
Because it
Yes.
slopes up.
Yep. The whole system is on a gravity feed for waste disposal. There's no sump pumps or no sewage ejectors in the house currently.
So it's up, there's nothing in the basement,
Correct.
so you're coming off the first.
Correct. Well, no, so it's coming out, so the pipes are in the basement,
Yeah.
but they're right along the ceiling of the basement. They have the slope and it's all
They
gravity.
come out
Yep.
of the front wall,
Correct.
high on the wall, not.
Correct.
The porch, can you put the porch over here? So you can share it with your parents?
Let's see where he's going.
The
The little one in the corner?
The little one
porch
in
on
the
the
corner.
side, that's just to gain access to an outside entrance to the unit. I think that's required, not just one
Is
through the
that-
garage.
Is that a walkway down the side? Is that what that is?
Mhm.
I mean,
And that's included in the impervious assessment from
and,
earlier.
and those are steps going up?
Yes. Again, this whole lot slopes to the back and very steeply to the side into the wetlands. So the wetlands that are over in that corner are actually about 10 foot below the existing driveway. So it's very steep slope there. And you can see that from the contour lines.
They're 10 feet below your your proposed basement floor elevation. Anybody else have any questions, comments, concerns?
You took all my questions. I came prepared.
Good for you.
You took them.
I do want to point out that when was this house built?
1990.
1990. Yeah,
We're not the first owner of the house.
Yeah, I remember it. I remember all these houses. That does predate our bylaw. So we can allow this because it predates our bylaw. We are maintaining the 25-foot offset.
We have gotten an alternatives analysis. That's your email. I did find the email.
Yep.
So there's that.
All right, I'm going to make a couple of comments. I find the alternatives analysis to be inadequate. All right, there's no cost analysis in this alternatives analysis. There's no budget. There's no budget for the project and what the alternatives analysis would cost.
So at the time I wrote that, I'm not an architect, I'm not in construction costing, so I didn't have the information.
It doesn't matter. Today is the day that we're going to make
I
a decision.
just verbally mentioned it at the start of my presentation. It's about 80,000 additional building construction, about 20,000
Yeah,
for
but
additional
we've not
site.
seen a budget that shows that $80,000 increase.
Okay,
all right.
I can provide that, but I'm telling
Yeah,
it to you
all right,
now.
all right, so that's A.
Okay.
B is you showed this $80,000 cost addition due to shifting from the north to the south side. I understand. There's no analysis of shifting the addition, I'm going to call it laterally, is that, yeah,
To northeast.
Yeah,
to the northeast. There's no cost analysis. What I heard was you don't like this idea because of aesthetic reasons.
Well, they mentioned this interferes with septic, which is one of the
No,
limited
no,
places
no,
they
no,
can get a
no,
perk test,
no,
a
no.
passing perk test.
No, wait a second, let me finish. You mentioned that it interferes with the setback from the proposed septic system, and that septic system can be shifted. Whatever amount, it can be shifted. And you can gain some leeway there, and you can also, you have some leeway up to that setback from the proposed septic leach field. So between the two of them, how much additional footage does that get this addition out of the 50-foot buffer?
Yeah, so
also I just want to, the garage is going to be on a slab, I assume, right? It's not going to have a foundation wall that goes down 8 feet that blocks the flow from the septic.
I'm sorry, could you say that
You
again a
said
little louder?
The garage is going to be on a slab
Yes.
and not have an 8-foot wall blocking the flow of the septic.
So.
Oh, that's correct.
Yeah, I mean, and it could meet the setback requirement required by Title V, which I believe,
But one of the, if I may, One of the concerns with angling it up like that, because we had talked about that early on in the process of design, is that the driveway needed to get into the garage would then go over the leaching field, part of the leaching field. Now, yes, my father had spoke to the septic installer and engineer, thank you. And he had said that you can shift it a little bit, but given the setback from the road, you can't shift it that much. And given where I'm going to use the wrong term, I apologize, but the intake into the pit, that little box next to the
Distribution box.
the distribution box, thank you, needs to be where it is regarding distance from the house and flow of the.
Basically, what the engineer told me is
So the
we could
septic-
pivot the field on the distribution box and angle the end closest to the driveway up a little bit, up towards the road, but it can only move
Okay,
about
I'm
5
gonna-
feet or
I'm going to
so.
interrupt you. All of this should have been in the alternatives analysis, all of this discussion. And what we have right now is nothing on paper. So you're expecting us to make a decision based on oral presentations. And I don't particularly find that acceptable. I want to see something on paper.
We can go through the academic exercise of putting it on paper.
It's not an academic exercise, sir. It's a legal exercise, all right?
So was an in-person verbal meeting as well.
Yeah, I understand that, but there is nothing on paper thus far. All we have is your word for what it would cost and what it takes with respect to these alternatives.
We can put it on paper.
I found your email more than a little peevish, okay, with respect to not knowing our own bylaws.
I
Sir,
stated it. I know exactly what it is.
I know, and so do we.
Okay.
And I'm telling you what my expectation is, and I won't speak for the rest of the commission, but this is my expectation as far as an alternatives analysis, which is to say, you're going to commit it to paper and you're going to submit it to the commission, and you're going to do that ahead of time so that we can look at it critically. And if we have any other questions, we can address those questions. All right?
Do that.
Good. David, I think, given the situation, yeah, I think that, it's feasible to put your addition on your property. I understand this, okay? But you also have to understand the position that the commission is in, okay? It is our responsibility to uphold the bylaw that the town has, okay? And this commission takes it very seriously, its responsibility in evaluating what is being presented to us as far as plans are concerned. And in particular, obviously, it gets much more difficult when people want to work inside the 25. It almost becomes impossible. But between the 25 and the 50, we get a little prickly, to say the, okay?
Mhm.
So please, do the due diligence. And if it's, from my perspective, acceptable, I will support it. Okay?
Okay.
I'm a property owner. I understand, what you want to do here. It makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay? But again, understand our position in protecting the setbacks.
Yes.
Okay?
David, I would like to ask a question. For Steve's comments. Have we ever required an actual budget to determine practicable and economically viable alternatives? In all of the files that I've ever seen, I haven't seen one, but that's why I'm asking, because again, there's well over 1,000 file numbers, so I haven't seen them all. But I have no recollection of seeing
But
an actual budget breakdown.
if they're using the argument that it's not economically feasible, they should present. Whether we've asked for it in the past or not, I don't remember. I haven't heard too many people bring in an economic argument on it.
Well, it doesn't have to be an extensive, Sarah, it doesn't have to be an extensive budget.
Oh, well, sure, but
I mean, he
I
did,
was
he
just
did, he
trying
did.
to ask if David had remembered that we had seen anything like that.
I don't remember seeing anything like that, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't have asked. It was presented verbally as a reason for not doing it, and that's, so maybe it should be on paper, it should be in the record on paper. Um, So I do think it's not an unreasonable thing to ask if you're going to make the argument that it's economically not feasible, say, to present it that way. You know,
Sure.
whether we've asked for it or not, the commission is a little different. We didn't have that as an interest before, prior to the bylaw. Um, So I don't think it's an unreasonable request to,
Yeah, we can provide that.
I mean, you've already worked it out and why. I do see feasibility of, I see the septic system is 10 feet off the road, which is the standard for Title V. But at this point over here, it's a little bit more. If you could twist the leach field a little bit, you could slide this whole thing up about 4 or 5 feet, slide the driveway up 4 or 5 feet. You've got the garage on a slab, which is actually a different setback. Slab is a different setback than the cellar wall is, so you could move things farther forward. I would like to try to see the grading, both on the north side, as well as north side and west side, eliminated. I would like to see a limit of work. This is your limit of work down here, correct?
Yes, the silver fence, that's
And I mean, I would like to see, try to maintain more of the 25 to 50 in there. And in there, if we could cut that back down a little bit by shifting the whole front of the garage farther towards the street.
Well, so,
It shouldn't affect your sewer, it shouldn't affect anything.
but the concern there then also is the driveway going over the
The drive,
leaching
I mean,
field.
you could still space it out so the driveway wouldn't go over the septic system. Especially if you were able to twist the leak.
We'll take a look.
Look at it. And
Just so you know, that when I had the conversation with the septic engineer, he didn't expect we'd be able to rotate that field much more than 5 or 6 feet. So, we've got a narrow band we're working with. But we can
And it does
certainly-
kill a tree.
yeah,
Not for nothing, like, it does kill one of the trees on our property to do that. To shift the leaching field, those 5 feet, kills a tree in the front of our property because it'll
Yeah,
cut
it'll-
into the root
it'll
system
cut
and
half of the root system
get rid
off
of
the
half the
tree.
root system, and then run the risk of those, if the tree doesn't die, run the risk of those roots ruining
Going back into the leaching field.
the leaching field.
So
So that was part of a concern too, of not moving it forward like that. We were trying to preserve the trees in the front of our yard, also,
you're
and
gonna tear up the front yard with that leach field. I went by your house today.
I thought I saw you.
Okay. And I didn't want to bother you, but I had the impression that it was a lot more land between the front of your house. So I can see the constraint there. So, but you are going to tear up that whole area.
I know, but we had talked to the septic engineer, and he said he could do it without killing that tree.
And
Like by putting it where he has it, he could do it without killing either of the two big trees in
Yeah,
front of the property.
we had Total Septic in and it given us a price on the system and they felt fairly confident that they could work within those constraints.
Well,
I take it the tree you're concerned about is a large mature tree?
It is a mature tree, yeah. It's not extremely large. I don't know the width of the trunk, but it's one I wouldn't be comfortable cutting down myself. It's large enough for that. Been there longer than I have.
It isn't shown on the plan.
It's in that,
It's in where it shows a.
where that rocky area is up there. Because that's a planting bed.
There's a 6-inch birch above the rock, above the boulders, which you're not gonna touch. And then there's a 12-inch maple down at the other end,
Right,
Yeah,
you're 10 or 15.
yeah, so it's it's labeled as a birch on that, can I see the?
There's a birch up by, right by the edge of the setback for the edge of the road line. And then there's a 12-inch maple that looks like it's,
Yes, yeah, it's that birch tree that moving the septic away would injure the roots enough that it would damage the tree and run the risk of.
probably independent, take it down,
to
safety
to
reasons.
damage the tree, you have to disturb a third of the roots. And since it's on above the boulder field, and I'm only talking about just swing it a little bit. You've got a setback. I mean, I can see pulling the whole thing up a little bit and still not running the driveway across the leach field. And the setback to the leach field shouldn't be a problem to the basement because it's on a slab.
But I agree with you there, but we still have the existing house,
Yeah,
which projects a 20-foot offset.
well, I'm not talking about moving that corner. That corner right by, the one that points towards the house, the southwest corner of the leach field. I'm just talking about twisting the north end a little bit. And that would just give you a little bit more room for your driveway and keep your house.
Okay.
I do hear what you're saying, and we'll look into it again.
Okay,
But that is a discussion that my father and I have had in going into this as well, and he discussed with the septic engineer about it. And moving it up those 5 feet means that the tree then is either the roots will be damaged enough, or the roots will end up growing into the septic field if the tree isn't removed. So it would either be damage to the tree or damage to the new septic system, neither of which are ideal, to say the least.
it's,
But we will look into it again for you.
the tree is 15 feet from the proposed leach field. And if we move that one corner 5 feet, it's only 4 feet there. So it's 11 feet, and that does not damage over a third of the, not my scale. Sarah, I have a scale. I mean, if you could tweak it a little bit and get a little bit more separation, redefine this limit of work line so it's up. I know you've got your discharge. This is a leaching facility. This is your stormwater is that's San Souci's bailiwick, but this is a leach. Is this a leaching?
Those are flared ends with stone splash pads for the roof drains and the foundation drains.
Are you happy with that, Stephanie?
Yeah.
I mean, does that give you the infiltration that you want?
It's not subject to the bylaw. It's less than 10,000 square feet. Development
Okay.
or land disturbing activities.
So it doesn't need a stormwater permit?
No, it's just
Okay. And that's outside of the 50, that's good. But if you could tweak it, get that limit of work up a little bit, so we've got a little bit more of a buffer. If the house could be shifted, this whole thing could be shifted, we get more of a buffer there. Shift that limit of work up a little bit
Okay, we'll look into that.
and provide the revised alternatives analysis. Right? Other people in agreement?
And just for clarification, so the alternatives analysis that we're looking for, some of the things that I was hearing, and I'm saying this so that you only have to come back one more time.
Thank you.
I'm hearing, though, it would include consideration of these other design possibilities, right? The costs associated with them. What else would be appropriate to include?
Well, there should be documentation of increases or decreases of impervious area.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for example, if they shift it to the northeast, there's going to be a net decrease, or from what would appear to me, a net decrease in the total driveway. But I may be inaccurate there, because you may still need that amount of turning space in order to be able to get your car into the garage. But I would think the total length of the driveway would decrease. So the driveway, I think, the total impervious area from the driveway should decrease. So I think that by shifting it to the northeast, we get more of the project out of the 50-foot buffer. We get less impervious area. We also get more, as David says, a better, slope in the back there from the working area down to the natural topography.
And an increased setback from the wetland with vegetation.
Yep. So if you would mind going back, I understand it's in a position, but if you would mind, take a look at it, see if it can be done within your budgets, and come back as soon as you can, and we'll take a look at it.
So can we set it up as a continuance for?
Yes. I just have one comment, and that is, I've been on the commission. Can you imagine this over a year? And no, isn't that crazy? But in every instance, I've observed that this group does their best to ask questions so that we do right by the law, and to try and find solutions that get the landowner to the place where they need to be, while also meeting the needs of our policies and laws. And I think that's just a wonderful way to approach business. You two have been wonderful about and very gracious about saying, hey, we'll look into that. We'll take a look. We'll come back to you with more information. And I just want to say I appreciate that, because I can imagine on a hot summer night in this building, being your second time here, you probably are sensing a little bit of frustration. So I want to personally thank you for being willing to come in and give it another go and share your perspectives on what's doable. Understanding you have clients. You're trying to do the best you can for your clients. I think just a piece of advice, come to commission meetings with that openness that we're here to do right, and we're also here to help. I think that'll get you more mileage. And I'm happy to talk about that at a different time if you'd like. Okay. That's all. Thank you.
So do we make a motion to continue this to the next meeting? Is August 25th?
Do it,
September 8th.
can we do it into September? We do it into October?
Would you prefer October?
Well, there's a lot of information we have to get put together. And we do some plans.
Well, if we continue it into September, okay, you can at any point request to change a further date.
So let's aim for September.
Okay, then we'll
So
aim for
if you
like to get
do it
this
to next one, then if for some reason you don't feel like you're ready to present, a different plan, then Sarah will reschedule it for the next one.
All right. Yep, sounds good.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion on that motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Hey, Ed.
Hey,
Oh, hi, Ed.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys. guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Will.
When's our meeting in September?
September 8th and September
23rd,
22nd.
22nd. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're back on our normal, second and fourth Mondays as of next month. Yeah, I can't even remember how we schedule October, because we are always bumping up against Monday
Okay.
holidays.
We have a notice of intent. For 111 Sawmill Drive, Vitality Azamnoff. I apologize if I did that.
The applicant and representative have requested a continuance until September 8th so that they can get the turtle protection plan developed and submitted.
That was the issue. Okay, great.
So,
So do we have a motion to continue
yes.
that? And noted that no discussion was had.
Do we need to vote on it, or is it just going to?
yeah, I would recommend
Okay,
motioning to continue the hearing until September 8th.
I make a motion that we continue the 111 Old Sawmill NOI to September 8th.
Second.
And with motion and a second discussion on the motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We have a notice of intent for 21 East Street for Michael McTellian.
Yeah.
If only I could.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, that'll work just fine.
just don't sit on it.
This supplemental information. And then, here are the two site plans that have been blown up for
I did make a blown up,
the request.
Thanks, Skip.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
the package is getting thick.
It's thicker and thicker.
Time to wrap this thing up.
well, good evening. Nice to see you guys again. This will be our third trip here. And appreciate your time tonight. I know you all volunteered. You don't get paid much, so it's a thankless job, but I appreciate it. It's my wife Elizabeth, and I'm Mike Madeline. We live at 211 East Street, and we're trying to put a single bedroom addition on the back of our house. So when we get older, we won't have to crawl up the stairs.
Got it?
And so that's basically, I think you guys probably remember the last time I was here, but the first time we came here, we submitted a request for determination, and the DEP flagged it and said, no, you need a notice of intent. So we came back on the 14th of July, and I was away on vacation when my son was here, and so we got to talk to you online. But there were some pieces of information that were missing, and you requested them, so we put them together. I believe everything's complete at this point that I'm aware of. But I'll just review what you asked for and kind of what we've submitted in response to that. So one of the things that was requested by the DEP was a endangered species permit from the Heritage Foundation. We submitted that to them, and on the 21st of July, right after we had our last meeting, they gave us the approval. So they said there would be,
They say no take?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
so, and Sarah has a copy of that. They basically said the project meets state listed species performance standard for the issuance of an order of conditions.
Is the addition on the lawn?
Yes. Yeah. I can go over it quickly if you want me to. Okay. The second thing that we talked about was my septic inspection, because I'm putting an additional bedroom on the house. So the building inspector, Paul Adzema, said that I should review that with the Board of Health. And the Board of Health reviewed my past two septic inspections, and they said that, and they came and inspected my house to make sure it was only one bedroom. And they said so long as I had another septic inspection done and it passed it, and I put a deed restriction on my deed saying I could only limit it to 2 bedrooms, then they would approve the addition building permit. So on, I believe July 8th, Complete Septic Services did that inspection and basically gave us a acceptable Title V inspection, which Sarah has a copy of.
And I assume you have the Board of Health's opinion in writing?
Yeah, well, we dealt with Crete,
Andrea?
and we also dealt with the engineer who was Roger Bacon.
Roger, yep.
So Roger Bacon reviewed the design criteria for the original septic, and Andrea came out and inspected the home. And I have an email that I gave to Sarah documenting that they did that, and and Paul said that was fine for the permit. So the third item that you asked for was an updated plan. That was larger scale, because originally we gave you smaller plans. So what we provided was, we provided you full size of the building plans. Well, they're actually, whatever these are, 18 by 24. And these are 1/4 to 1 foot scale. So you have a full set of those complete of the building layout. And then we also did this plan, which is basically the wetlands plan. And this is done to a larger scale. You also have 2 copies of those so you can see exactly what's going on. And this is actually a 1 foot equals 6 foot scale. When they blew it up, the scale was wrong, but I rechecked it, and it's actually 1 foot equals 1 inch equals 6 feet. So you have a copy of that and the property lines. And this actually here is an overlay of this larger plan, which I just gave you, and that is a plan that was done when I bought the home. And this was done by Frederick Company. They surveyed it, identified all the property lines and the various right-of-ways and the different buildings and such. And I basically had my designer put the same overlay onto this plan with the addition on it. You can see the setbacks, but we're 55 feet off the river, the edge of the work, and we're away from the wetlands. Throughout this process, I've talked with Sarah and also Mr. Stinson of the DEP, and he provided recommendations on how we should submit the notice of intent. And as far as I know, the application was complete with the exception of the additional things he asked for. And so I've copied him on everything, all the emails. And I believe the application is complete at this point. So we'd like to request that we could get an order of conditions. And because one thing we have to do is move a telephone pole here. And before National Grid can do that, they wanted to make sure they had an order of conditions. So they don't, they have to dig a hole.
Which pole are you moving?
With that?
Which pole are you moving?
So there is there's basically a power line that comes in here, and then it passes over my driveway to the next property here. And where I was going to put the addition, it passes over it. So National Grid said, we really don't want you to do that. My electrician brought it up to them, and they said, what we'll do is we'll put another pole right here, and then we'll just put it to the side of the addition, and then go over to the other pole right here. So that's really just to reposition that line so it's not over the addition.
Well, thank you for, you had to do the natural heritage. You had to,
Yeah.
There was no question about that.
Yeah, well, I think originally the maps were a little deceptive.
Yeah.
They didn't really show anything being on the property, but then Mark's flagged it and said you gotta file it, so we did.
Yeah, and honestly, that was probably part of my recommendation because the natural heritage overlay over the property was skewed. And so I figured that it was just a drawing issue and that the bounds were supposed to actually meet up with the property lines, the bounds of the natural heritage area. So,
So they look like they were trying to go around the property.
no, it's, so you see the rectangle, like the natural heritage area, if you're looking at this plan right here, it was essentially the same size as this rectangle. It was just skewed ever so slightly. So I figured it was just a drawing issue or an overlay issue. Because, I mean, natural heritage carves out residential properties from their their designated areas. So, I mean, that was probably bad information on my part.
But also, if the addition is over existing lawn and of that size, it's probably an exempt activity
Under MISA, but not under the Wetlands Protection
Oh, yeah,
Act.
no, I know.
Yeah.
under visa.
But one thing Michael forgot to mention, that came out of discussions with Mark Simpson is an improvement over current conditions, which includes planting of conservation seed mixes on any disturbed areas, planting of an indigenous vegetative border around the remaining perimeter of the lot, consisting of mountain laurel, sugar maple, white birch, and ferns. And planting areas shall be loamed and seeded as needed to support proper plant growth. And all vegetative improvements shall be monitored for 2 growing seasons to help ensure successful regeneration. So that those activities do help the project also comply with the redevelopment requirements. I don't know why I used air quotes because they are redevelopment requirements, but within the riverfront regulations. Or riverfront section of the Wetlands Protection Act regulations. So that is, I mean, we always like an improvement over current conditions. So that's just another piece I wanted you guys to know about.
Any comments from anybody else on the commission?
Unsatisfied.
Anybody in the audience?
David online.
Hi. What's up?
Hi.
Oh.
May I speak?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you.
Yourself, please.
Thank you. Yes. My name is Ellen Fryman. I'm an attorney with Schatz, Schwartz and Fenton in Springfield, 1441 Main Street. And I'm here representing the abutters, Rachel Talushkin and Kat Dury. They are direct abutters. They reside at 241 East Street. And I haven't been able to see the plans. I couldn't see them online, but I just want to confirm, make sure that there's no work being done on their property. They don't have an easement or rights to travel over the property. So we just want to confirm that all the work is being contained onto on their property. That's all.
Yeah, I can speak to that. When we started the project and we notified them, they said they didn't want any trees removed from the right-of-way or the driveway. But I think,
So turn your plan around.
yeah,
Drive-
so
You have an easement for that, or is that?
there is a utility.
No, there is no easement.
There's a utility
Excuse
easement.
me. There's a
No.
utility easement.
Well, not running over the Talushkin property, not over 241 East Street.
So, on my property, the easement comes here,
Yeah.
it passes to a pole here on my property, and then it continues over to Lushkin's property, on the other side of my property, on the other side of the driveway. I think they mistakenly thought that I was gonna be clearing trees in this area of the driveway, which is the right of way. But that is not the case. We're making sure that we don't remove any trees relative to that. From my understanding, and I just had Diane Close from the National Grid come out, and she said all they're gonna do is move the pole over slightly and trim some trees to make sure this line doesn't run into any trees, which they would do normally.
So
Because currently there's trees, limbs going into the lines of my property. So they have a right of way to clear these trees, right, these limbs from away from the tree. From the
so,
line.
but all on your property.
It's all on my property.
So
So there will be no work done on the Toulouse.
There'll be no disturbance of any property, no changing of anything, conditions on the Telushkin property.
you don't have to do anything to the driveway.
No.
You've already
Okay.
got access. Okay?
Well, it's a right of way, so we can do maintenance of the road.
Yeah.
No, there's no legal right of way, but as long as there's no work done, we can deal with that separately.
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else from anybody? So what's the pleasure of the commission? Ed, do you have any comments?
No, I do not.
What's the pleasure of the commission?
We're looking for a motion to.
Yeah.
Motion to close the hearing and issue an order of conditions with findings of fact and special conditions.
Make a motion to close the hearing and all the other things that you said.
So moved. That's what I would say.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a discussion on that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So I was just curious, when will we get the order of conditions, you think? Does the utility company wants it before they can put the pole in?
Sure thing. I have to just put a few finishing touches on it, I mean, I think I have it pretty much like in final draft form, but it'll be ready, maybe not tomorrow, but maybe Wednesday. Would you prefer that I put it in the mail, certified mail, or I can just let you know and you can come pick it up?
That'll be easier because I can forward it to Diane.
Yeah, I can send you a digital
Yeah.
copy, but you'll just
I'll
need
pick it
the
up.
hard copy to record at the registry of deeds.
Yeah,
Sure.
and you know you have to report it.
Yeah, well, I have to record the,
The
septic,
deed restriction as
the
well.
deed restriction, so I didn't want to do that until I was sure I was getting it.
Yeah, of course.
But thank you very much. I appreciate the time.
Thank you for all your efforts with
Yeah,
this. We
thank you.
appreciate it.
Okay.
Nice evening.
It was nice to see you.
Yeah, nice seeing you too. Thank you.
Next on the agenda are bills. Do we have any bills?
Yeah, just mileage for myself. I was kind of running around like a mad woman, so the amount isn't on the agenda, but the mileage for myself is $86.88.
Those are going around. The minutes. People had a chance to look at the minutes.
I have not. Well, I have glanced at them, I'm sorry.
Sure, the rec.
Yeah, I had a comment.
Go ahead.
In the minutes for 4-11 East Street, it said we wanted 40 scale plans. It should be that we required 40 scale plans.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Page 3 towards the end of the paragraph. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm not close to the microphone. Conservation Commission would like a full-size plan with a 1:40 scale as required. Maybe I said it twice. Is there a second time?
This hearing can and will require a 40 scale and then get rid of as required.
I would get rid of wanted.
Get rid of what?
Well,
I would-
okay,
I'm
so
not gonna
the,
be-
so the sentence reads this way. It
Look.
says, "The Conservation Commission would like a full-size plan with a 1-foot to 40-foot scale as required." Do you have an alternative wording, Ed?
I don't see one.
I would just say that we required a 40 scale plan that so far had not been provided.
Okay. All right, so the Conservation Commission requires a
Request-
full-size plan with 1-foot to 40-foot scale.
The
And
Conservation
then scratch
Commission
as required.
requires a full-size.
Yeah. Okay, Stephanie?
Yes, I think so. The Conservation Commission requires a full-size plan with a 1-inch to 40 scale.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll look good to me.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments, questions, complaints?
Have you been able to look at the bills?
I did.
I make a motion that we accept the bills, or the bill.
Second.
Discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed? It's unanimous.
I'll make a motion. We accept the minutes as amended.
Second.
Discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Opposed? Great. That's unanimous. Next we have up, do we have any new business or updates?
Not yet. Soon.
Okay. Enforcement, North Liberty Street, what's going on there?
I was driving past this lot,
Oh, that's awful.
and I had seen that there was a vehicle out there that had something to do with site inspection services on it. I didn't really think anything of it. And then the next day I drove by, and the entire site, which we had found that there was a stormwater permit from ages and ages ago.
So is this
But-
down below the bus company?
Yes.
Okay, and it's brush off.
Yeah, it's been brush hogged. Yep. So I sent them an enforcement notice because it has been, the property has been brush hogged to the wetland line.
Which is in the rear, or is it
It's
some?
in the back of the property is where the wetlands are. And you can see, I mean, I don't know if this is Phragmites or cattails, but you can see that there's an obvious drop in topography, and these wetlands are mapped on GIS. So I sent this out on 8/7, requiring, a cease and desist and filing a notice of intent, and also filing a stormwater management permit, because from what I can tell, the vegetation removal has well exceeded the 10,000 square foot threshold. So I have not heard from them yet. I also haven't received the green card back, so our mail has to go like all over the place before it gets delivered. But if I don't hear from them, I'll end up sending probably an enforcement order just to get their attention.
Did you give them a time?
48 hours upon receipt of the document to contact me. And we both signed it. It was a joint notice from both stormwater and wetlands. So,
There has been a filing. Looked at this property
yeah.
2008.
2008, yeah.
yesterday.
For you.
remember, was that just stormwater? They were talking about clearing it and there was some work involved, I believe. Do you remember this one, Ed? Down below the bus, above,
Vaguely.
above Suburban? Is it above Suburban? Below,
Below, I would say if you're headed towards Three Rivers
and
or Bondsville.
next to Martineau, next to the lumber mill?
Yes, I do vaguely remember all that.
Okay, do we need to we don't have an enforcement order, so we don't need to ratify it.
Nope, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that I sent out the enforcement notice. It's, unless I'm seeing a bona fide, like legitimate wetland alteration, I like to take the enforcement notice route first. It tends to just open up a better environment for conversation and restoration rather than pulling out the big guns right from the get-go.
Okay, so noted, thank you very much.
No problem.
Request for extensions, I assume there are none?
There are none.
Okay, request for certificate of compliance. DP 104-0321, 24 Azalea.
This is a partial certificate of compliance.
Is that for the road?
No, this is for the specific property. We've done our deed research, and from what we can tell, it is in our best interest to issue it.
Was there a filing associated with this property?
Yeah.
Yes, there was.
And it had to be out in the back.
Is what I've been able to tell is that this property was not released from the order of conditions.
For the road?
It covered the road and the rest of the subdivision, but when you go to the Registry of Deeds and do the deed research, this order is still attached to this property. The commission issued a partial COC for 46 Azalea Way in 2023. So, I just think it makes sense just to issue it.
We have discussion on this?
So I got a question about what you just said. You said it was also for the neighborhood? It was also for the subdivision?
Yeah. Well, you see, when you file for a subdivision, when they come in with a subdivision filing, it's before the lots were created. So then you go back to record the subdivision after you get planning board approval, and every lot in the subdivision part is covered by that order. So it may not even have any wetlands within 500 feet of it, but it's still in the order.
Yeah.
And is that the case with this one?
Yep.
Okay, understood.
I feel compelled to share that I live on Azalea Way. So probably should abstain from whatever.
He is in a butter.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense then.
So we've still got 4, so close your eyes and go in the other room.
I'll step outside if you'd like.
No,
You don't have to.
Nope,
That's
not necessary.
refusal.
I'm joking.
No, but you can check your deed and see if you
I
still
should do that.
And when you issue it, when you request it, we'll make sure you're on it.
Yeah, that you
Here you-
should probably.
So do we have a motion if there's no further discussion on this with the noting that Will is abstaining?
So moved.
Second.
So we've got a motion and a second discussion on the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Great. And let the minutes show that Will has recused himself.
Abstained.
Abstained.
One abstention.
401.
Okay, next up, we have another request for certificate 104-1091 for the Norwottuck Trail.
Yep. This is a complete certificate of compliance. They're
This is for the over by Amherst, right?
Yeah, for the Norwottuck Rail Trail that maybe in some dizzy daydream will connect to the Mass Central Rail Trail. But I think there's maybe like an eighth of a mile
Yeah.
or that's actually in Belchertown. So yeah, this is in
And
compliance.
what year was that?
This was 2022. Yep.
Yeah, they just resurfaced it 2 or 3 years ago. They came in front of us
Okay.
with a
So this is
NOI.
This isn't the original. It was about 15 years ago.
Oh, you
Is it-
can't.
So everything is in good shape out there?
Yep.
I had the very hard task of inspecting the rail trail.
You do it on a bicycle?
She'll get it.
I took my dog and I walked. No, it really, there's like 5-10 minute walk of it's in Belchertown. The silt stack is gone. All the vegetation looks good.
So do we have discussion on this? What's the pleasure of the commission?
Make a motion to issue a full certificate of compliance.
Have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those, discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you. We have another certificate, DEP 1040219, 7 Tucker Lane, for a partial. What's the story on this?
Similar to Azalea Way, it was filed as a subdivision, and this lot isn't actually near any wetlands.
Yeah, it's all down the road. It's like 3 lots down the back. And I guess the road was in it. Well, actually, the detention basin.
Yeah. So like Stephanie said, she hit the nail right on the head.
Can we do a form on this? If they request it? I'm not saying tonight.
Was there
I
something?
Has the town accepted Tucker?
don't know.
I think it's a private. I think it may be private. I don't know.
I saw nothing in here about any sort of acceptance, but then again, these files that are this old are a mess. So I'm not actually sure.
Well, let's take care of this one and then we deal with the rest of it.
Yeah.
If we could get rid of the partials, get rid of fulls, we eliminate a lot of partials.
Oh, definitely.
So.
If the applicant is still with us.
Yeah.
A lot of these old filings I've been going through and I'm like, I don't think we can even close this one out anymore.
Okay, discussion on this? Any questions, comments, concerns?
Yeah, what's the problem with Tucker Lane?
There
It's
is
just a certificate of
nothing.
compliance
There is
for this lot. It's a partial. It was issued for the road. There isn't a certificate for the road, for that yet, but this lot is outside, so that it's just like on Azalea Way. where-
Okay, so we don't have an interest.
No. We have a motion?
I move that we provide a certificate of compliance for 17 Tucker Lane.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 We have, last one, DEP 104-1098 for 50 Green Ave.
This is a full certificate of compliance with ongoing conditions. I did an inspection, like I had the fun opportunity to do the inspection last week. And I don't know if you guys remember that this project was for installing a bridge over the intermittent reach of Axe Factory Brook. So that this gentleman can create a Christmas tree farm. It also included removing a culvert upstream of the new bridge and doing some restoration. And I was there on Friday and everything looked perfect.
Dandy.
Good wants to say something.
What's up?
It's mail route.
So you checked the New Bridge crossing. Did you, what else did you check?
I looked upstream where the old cart path was, where the commission required the removal of an existing culvert that was under the old cart path to abandon that. And that culvert has been removed. The area is stabilized with conservation mix. I saw no signs of like bank failure or erosion into that, just on the same property, but upstream of the new bridge. And the applicant / owner actually said that they've noticed an increased stream flow downstream at the bridge that they installed after removing this undersized culvert upstream.
So it wasn't. I
So,
remember.
David,
Yeah.
so if you recall, that culvert was like 90% plugged. And at the time of the NOI, we had a discussion about removing it, and if it would drain everything, it would increase the water flow and basically drain the wetland that was upstream. It seems like that needs to be looked at.
No, what the applicant had said was that he had noticed like an ever so slightly increased stream flow downstream of this culvert. If it was going to end up draining the wetland upstream, I would have seen signs of bank scouring and erosion and sediment deposition in the stream bank, of which I saw
Maybe.
none of that. And what I saw downstream under the bridge was, it's not like the stream went from 5 feet wide to 10 feet wide. It was all BBW underneath the bridge.
I'm not worried about the bridge and downstream. I'm worried about what was upstream of that other crossing.
Yeah, that crossing was so small, I don't think that it actually would really, I think it more served as a constriction to the downstream flow, but not enough to drain a wetland. I think it just served as an actual constriction more specific to road stream crossings. Like it was only maybe 12 inches in diameter.
What was?
The upstream culvert that we had removed.
Go back and check the NOI, but I think that was like a 30-inch CMP. That was mostly plugged.
And what was the?
Oh, the culvert, it was, yeah, but it was collapsed.
Exactly.
It was 30 inches.
Exactly.
But there was no signs of any sort of downstream impacts whatsoever. I mean, I am NAACC certified for inspecting culverts, so I didn't see any cause of concern. But if you guys want to go out and take a look at it, you're more than welcome.
I'll leave it up to you, David. The impacted area would be up at the neighbors at 30 Green Ave. There's a pond and everything up there.
And here's the wood bridge deck. This doesn't actually show that other culvert plate. The culvert was up here, which again, yeah.
I'm not seeing where the pond is.
Remove a 10-foot length of fill. Existing 30-inch metal culvert to be removed. Remove a 10-foot length of fill / road for its entire width on either side of culvert and seed with New England wetland mix.
And maybe that's the neighbors.
I'm gonna use this. Ed, if you'd like to take a look at it, we can take a look at it, make sure it hasn't, but I understand what Sarah is saying, but I do remember it was basically almost a dam there. But I don't remember any water backing up on that side of it.
If you're satisfied, then I'm okay with it. But if, you know, it certainly was a, you know, that certainly was a condition in the NOI that the hydraulic conditions upstream weren't to be altered.
It's also basically restoring everything to what it was originally before the culvert went in. So
That culvert's been there forever.
So if you'd like to take a look at it, we'll take a look at it.
Is that your recommendation?
Yeah. Just, I don't want to have any questions about it. I have a feeling that's what, you know. I mean, it might have held back water when it was during flood events. We can take a look at it.
Well, I won't be able to take a look at it for a while.
Our next meeting is on the 8th of September. When are you coming back?
I'm not sure yet.
That must be nice to be retired.
Yeah.
Not complaining.
All right, I'm going to make a motion that we continue this.
I will go take a look at it. Sarah and I will take a drive. You want to go for a ride?
I'm always down for a ride.
All right, let's continue this to September 8th. I'll make a motion that we continue this one to the September 8th. meeting.
Second that motion.
Discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Okay. Emergency search, none, I assume?
Nope.
Mail, we have an A&R plan for 554 Rural Street and a forest cutting plan for Route 9.
Whereabouts on Route 9?
Sorry, let me put this away. It's up behind,
Oh, yeah. I know.
like, the last forest cutting plan we saw was right next to this property. It's up behind, or up to the, I mean, if you're looking at Ron Constantino Field, like recreation area on the GIS.
Oh, so it's Sergeant
up-
Street.
Yeah, exactly. I had no comments on it.
What was shown on this plan?
So basically, it's within the watershed of Jabesh Brook.
Yeah, and the landing is going to be on Hilltop LLC, which is like, if it's not the parking lot that goes into the Ron Constantino Field, it's right next to it, but I'm pretty sure that's in like the parking lot that you drive into and the field's out back.
This is the.
So it's utilizing the same landing as the last
It's Gays.
project.
Okay.
Or the last
Okay.
FC.
It's downtown's project. They're Gay.
54.
Not quite.
This one.
Let's see what that is.
We're shifting something. It's just a few square.
I know that property. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've been in the area.
And standard letter on rural road.
I would say, yeah, I would say a standard letter. I didn't know she died.
You all set?
I'm all set.
You don't, you don't have to do anything to it or with it.
Did we ever get one, did we get one for Rock? Did we ever get one for Rock?
Yeah, that was the one that we just looked at before, a couple meetings ago, 2 meetings ago. You may not have been there that night. I did provide comments on that forest cutting plan. And the revisions were adequate. But I can let the service forester know that there's more wetlands on that property. I mean, I've been down in the vicinity of this side of this brook, because that's where Ron Constantino Field is. Aha. Well,
I
then.
used to ride my horse.
Dun, dun, dun.
Actually, we had a donkey.
What's the closest approach to Jabesh Brook?
It's not Jabesh Brook. It's a tributary to Jabesh Brook. It's
In this
within
case, same difference.
It's Thomas.
Thomas Brook. That's what it is.
Comes out of Pondview, comes out of the upper, that wetland along Pondview and on bottom side of
Right.
Brandy. And that comes down through there. Perennial stream. Okay,
Are they working on both sides of that brook?
no, they're not working in it. There is words.
They have a filter strip that hasn't been quantified, actually. That is another comment that I have to make. No, the filter strip has been quantified, actually. It's a 50-foot filter strip to the brook.
So my only comment is, so we get the comment, is with Jabesh being an ORW, if they have a piece of equipment that has a hydraulic failure and suddenly dumps 20 gallons of hydraulic fluid on the ground, they do have a plan to deal with it.
Okay.
So you understand my concern?
I do. I typically condition our projects to have provisions for dealing with spills and spill equipment and things of that nature, so I get it.
And we won't talk about mechanic shop, 3 mechanic shops on the other side of the brook.
Street.
And the septic system from the medical facility. Anyway, so that's it on the agenda. What are people's pleasures?
Make a motion, we cease and desist.
Do we have a
I'll
second?
second that.
I move, oh yeah. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So what's the temperature in Maine, Ed?
I think I saw 86, but the lake is 83.
Wow,
The water temperature is 83?
that's
That's
warm.
correct.